Well, getting ready for another battle with Tulane, who has another player available for this game that wasn't. Just your thoughts going into it.
Yeah, obviously when we played him early, Daniels didn't play, and he's an all-league player. He's been playing very well. Tough matchup because he can score in a variety of ways. They post him up. He scores off the dribble, shooting well from the three. They played very well yesterday against Temple in a tough loss, and then that game before that, really played well on the road at Tulsa. So they're playing better because they're healthy again. Younger guys have logged a lot of minutes, so they're playing pretty well, very similar to where we were last year, whereas the young guys got to play more at the end of the year. They were playing better. So, it's going to be a difficult game for us going on the road in a quick turnaround, but we're going to have to make sure that we respond the right way.
Obviously, anybody that's here is a big picture kind of guy, but how difficult is it on a losing streak like this to kind of bounce back?
Well, that's who you got to be in terms of that. We understand, as you said, the big picture of things, of where we're at. We've made steady improvements, and at the same time, you always want more. A tough, close loss again yesterday. We needed a couple defensive stops or a couple, shots to fall there at the end, and they just, when you lose 3 or 4 games in league play, on where the opponent has made one more play than you have, it's difficult. But it's, when you're able to take a step back, that's probably where we're at right now, and we just need to continue to get better and improve. And hopefully as we continue to move forward, we'll be able to do those things.
Tulane runs a ton of set plays, almost like an NBA team. How important is communication going to be on defense?
It's going to be big for us because they'll invert it. Their best, maybe not number-wise, but maybe their most dangerous shooter is their starting 5-man in Siak. And as I said, their starting point guard is 6'6", 230 pounds. And they'll post him up, and they'll post up Daniels. So you got to have a lot of different coverages, but your communication in terms of screening, where guys are at, where the ball is at, and different things like that are going to be very, very important. They out-rebounded us in Game 1. We forced a lot of turnovers in Game 1, but they're a much better team with the ball than they were when we played them in early January.
Also looks like they're using zone a lot more frequently. Well, what have you seen from their zone?
Yeah, a lot of different defenses that they throw at you. A regular, traditional 2-3, a matchup 2-3 where they go with cutters. It's really important that we get really good movement on that, even against a man-to-man. When we're moving the ball and moving people and getting shots, even if we don't make them, we're able to get to the offensive glass. Now, in this game, as opposed to yesterday's game, we got to do a better job of finishing around the basket. When you get 20 offensive rebounds, you got to have a minimum of 20 second chance points. And we didn't have that yesterday. And then when we get the ball around the basket in our offense, we need to finish some of those plays. And again, it's tough to ask, when you're saying, all right, you two freshmen, you got to finish these plays around the basket. It's a challenge. There's no doubt about it. I thought the guy who did the best job of finishing yesterday was our junior in Antune. So he's playing better, which is a positive for us as well, as he's getting a little more accustomed. Mike Durr's doing a great job on the glass, but he'll be the first one to tell you when you get 10 shots around the basket, you got to make more than 2 of them. You know what I mean? And he understands that, but that's kind of the challenge that we face right now. But we're going to keep going to those guys because they've done a great job for us this year.
You mentioned Tune. Has his improvement been something you've been seeing growing during practice, or has something just clicked for him?
No, you see it growing during practice, his confidence. I think that's one of the biggest things, and that's the adjustment that a lot of junior college players go through. He's not always the biggest, strongest guy on the court, and last year he was, and he's also been able to expand his game, and I have to yell at him sometimes to be ready to shoot that 15-footer, even out to the threesome. But you're starting to see the growth of his confidence offensively, and he's very good defensively as well. And those big guys will never rebound as much as I would like, so that's an area that he needs to improve in for us.
Lex continues to lead the league in rebounding, double-doubles. What can you say about his performance as a whole this year, of what it's meant to you guys, and just to do it in the first year?
Yeah, he's had a great freshman year. There's no doubt about it. as we've talked about, since the injury, he hasn't shot the ball as well, but his rebounding hasn't dropped. He just has an unbelievable motor. You know, he just plays hard every single possession, has done a great job for us because of that, you know, energy that he plays with and so forth. And, you know, you're just going to see him continue to improve because the areas where he's a little deficient in, through hard work and reps and different things like that, he's going to get a lot better.
Then you got a guard that leads the league in steals and assists. Just how rare is that for those two categories for a guy to do in your time? I mean, how many times have you seen that?
Very rare, because what it clearly shows is that he's the quarterback on offense and then sets the tone for us on defense. And that's what you want from your point guard. And, you know, I think the biggest thing for him is he's starting to see other areas that he can improve in and he can get better in, and he can even have a bigger impact on the game. So I like the fact that he's not satisfied with that, and I like the fact that you're able to count on a guy to set the tone on both sides of the ball for you.
Great.
All good?